Hello, students. Before we begin our read aloud, you are going to want to watch this short video introducing the vocabulary words. If you are staying at home for virtual learning and you are not coming to school on any of the days, I highly recommend you go get one of your parents or a responsible adult at home and let them listen along for a minute or two before we get into this. For those families that are keeping their children at home all the time, they're totally virtual, you may want to create a little word wall with these vocabulary words. I've also shared this slide inside of Google Classroom as one of your weekly resources, and they're clearly labeled for the day of the week, the date. You may want to print those or handwrite them on index cards, or maybe even have your child or student write these down in a vocabulary journal. However you want to do it, we want to keep these words in front of the children or in front of your child and make sure that they're using them when they're answering the read aloud questions. So the next video is the actual read aloud, and then the final video is some oral questions and a few written questions. And when the students or children have the vocabulary words in front of them, it makes it a lot easier to incorporate them in their vernacular. So I'm just going to read through these very quickly. I won't give this long speech on the other days of the week for the vocabulary. Backwater. It's a noun. That's its part of speech. The N stands for noun. A noun is a person, place, or thing. It's a peaceful body of water connected to a river, but with little or almost no current or movement. An isolated, or all by itself, unchanging village or town. An example, Mayberry was a quiet backwater of a village where people lived almost the same way as they had for the past 100 years. So I just want you to take note that there's two meanings for this word backwater. It could be a peaceful body of water connected to a river, but with little or almost no current or movement. Or it's an isolated, unchanged village, a little backwater. Our next word is bolted. Today it's a verb. It can have a noun meaning, a thing, like you bolt your door, right? But in today's story, we're using it as a verb or an action word. Moved or ran off suddenly. Example, when it began raining, Evan bolted into his house to stay dry. Here's some variation or variations of the word. You can bolt. He bolts. They are bolting. Our next word is a verb, an action word, something you can do. Contemplated. Considered or thought about. Pondered. Example, Thomas Edison contemplated or thought about all the ways electricity could be used in his inventions. Here's some variations of this word. You can contemplate. He contemplates. They are contemplating. Here's our last three words. Hesitating is an adjective. It describes. It means in a halting or pausing way. Acting with reluctance or uncertainty. Example, Julia perched on the side of the pool in a hesitating position as she waited for the rest of the class to jump in. Someone might be hesitating to answer a question if they don't know the answer. They're pausing or halting. Next word, interferes. It's a verb or an action, something you can do. You can interfere. It means gets in the way and prevents something from working smoothly. Example, during the spring season, rain often interferes with outdoor plans. Here's some variations of the word. You can interfere with somebody. You can be interfered with. Or you can have an interfering little brother or sister or cousin. Someone that's preventing you from things working smoothly. And here's our sixth word today, meandered. It is a verb or something you can do. Moved slowly and without purpose. Example, Jules meandered down the beach in the early morning light, enjoying the scenery. Probably means Jules is not there to get from one place to the next. She's just enjoying the beach. Variations, meander. I meander through the woods in the morning. Meanders. He meanders through the woods in the morning. Meandering. I was meandering through the woods yesterday. That concludes today's preview of the story vocabulary. Like I said, if you're going to be totally virtual, you may want to print this out or jot it down so your child or children can have these vocabulary words with them all the time. Thank you very much.